Everybody plays with kids.
Everybody plays with kids.
Yes, because everybody in the modern age plays with kids, apparently. I don't know what it is, but it feels like all damn year. As of from 2024 going into 2025, it's been a year of controversy, from people being arrested to people causing riots to being sick, somebody found the Black Plague, to Australia getting a new spider, to even the dirtiest of scum that come out of the rocks out of the blue just to blow up the internet. And then you got the online content like VR chat, Call of Duty's downfall, Battlefield 6 coming out the woodworks with a banger game made by DICE. Like, dude, the whole year has been an insane controversy. But then again, I feel like the biggest one that sticks out the most is the pedophile controversies that sent, dude, it sends waves across the internet just from people acting a specific way. And it has me in a predicament, because I don't want to make my content based solely around pedophiles, but instead today I want to talk about the controversies, and pedophilia is one of them. Yeah, and I know, I'm probably gonna get canceled for this, so instead of saying pedophilia, I'm just gonna say popcorn. Actually, no, I'm not, but I'm just gonna talk as it is. I am gonna bleep out when I say the word, but it seems like this is a big topic. That guy in the beginning of the video says everybody plays with kids.
Everybody plays with kids.
When I was younger, when I played Xbox, I played with kids, because that's, what you're supposed to do as a 13-year-old kid. You play with other 13-year-old kids online. Meanwhile, he advocates for playing with kids in general. Like, I've talked to the guy in a party chat with him, and he was going on about how his whole group of people has kids in it. That's kind of creepy, don't you think? Like, don't you think that you want to keep those types of kids out, considering as you're an adult? And I've had experience with bringing these types of people to the light and exposing these types of people, because these types of people don't know how to act. From the simplest mannerisms of being a little freaky to some young girls online, to full on having retarded ass relationships with people they should not be having relationships with. I've gone and made covers of people. I've even called parents of specific people. I was in a group, and I'm just not going to go too far into it. I was in a group who would specialize in doing this stuff on a specific game. And I'm not going to mention the game, and I'm not going to go out of my way to mention the people that I did this with, but we went and called the parents of these people, called the cops, and got cases done on these people, and do what we can to get these guys sent to jail, because these guys aren't normal people. These guys are bottom earth scum who don't deserve to be alive. I've always said that they deserve the death penalty, and that's gonna stand till the day that I die, because I do not care. Now, I'm not really scared about shit that's happening online. I'm not afraid to talk about the people that I'm talking about, because, to be honest, it's not going to affect me either way. And if it does affect me, so be it. It's not going to bother me. But what bothers me is that this is a big controversy. Not to mention that there are forums online about how therapists talk to their patients and are trying to normalize this shit. I kid you not. They are trying to normalize pedophilia. I could not lie to you if I was if I had the sources, which I'm pretty sure I don't. I'm pretty sure you can just type into Google therapist normalizing so and so, and you would find that there's a bunch of forums about this shit, which makes no sense. Why are you trying to normalize this? Why is this something that is becoming a normal thing in the world? It should not be a normal thing. It low-key kind of hurts my fucking brain to hear this shit, because I'm like, this makes no sense. Why are you doing what is the purpose of this? What do you get out of this? These people should not be advancing as a society, or as cretins. They're not even a society. These cretins shouldn't even be advancing out of their little hovel holes in the ground. They should be still in the ground doing what they do best and hiding away from the police. I know this whole video is probably just me talking and being controversial as hell with personal based opinion, and I don't really care. If you've known anybody who's made a mistake like this before, who's done this before and talked to its younger minors and stuff, you need to report them. It doesn't matter if you're a friend, if you're family, just report them. Secondly, I was the opposite. Like, I'm gonna give you like a quick little story. When I was younger, when I was like 16, 15 years old, I was lying actively off my ass to try to get on Tinder and hook up with some older fucking women because I did not care, one, and two, I was interested in the baddies that were older than me. I'm talking about 22, 23, 24. I was a freak kid. I'm not even gonna lie. I was a freak kid. We don't even have more of those types of people. Instead, what we have are these weird old 40-year-old, 50-year-old dudes who are going after minor people, and then they try to give themselves a name, minor attracted persons. No, this is, you don't get a special name. You don't get to be treated specially. What you get is a box in the ground where you should stay at. And I don't know, it seems like it's a big freaking thing. Another controversy is doxing and doxing people's addresses and stuff. Like, there's a lot of people who do that, and I have evidence of somebody who was doing that. I'm gonna post it, but after I'm done posting about it, I'm not gonna talk about this guy for the rest of the video because I don't want to make this video seem like I'm solely talking about this person. So here you go, I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that right there is pretty insane, because we're shifting from online people being creeps to straight up hurting personal information from other people online, stealing personal information. I actually had to blur out that last bit up there because it revealed their longitude and latitude of where they were in their state in the United States, which is a leak of privacy. See, I have the common courtesy and actual audacity to go out of my way and hide somebody's information if it actually serves and benefits the person that I'm hiding the information about, because this person didn't need to be doxxed. The person who was threatening this person was clearly on an agenda. They had an agenda against this person, and coming from me, that kind of sounds weird because I usually have an agenda about everybody, and you know, like, I'm constantly trying to harass people because I think it's funny to make fun of people on YouTube. And I know that sounds hypocritical that I have concerns about people online, but here's the thing. You have good people who dox people for a reason that is for the good and justice of others, and then you have the people online who are constantly doxing people just to defame, to hurt, and to defraud as bad people on the other side of the spectrum. And it's kind of annoying, actually. Like, it's actually kind of sad to see that there's people out there who do not give about the slightest damn about your own personal safety. A lot of people do this nowadays, and it kind of ties in towards the predators of the world, where people will come, like, I don't know if you know, like Gideon or Skeeter Jean, who do like Chris Hansen style videos, but they, you know, they do the good thing. They take that info and they release it to the police, and they do actual good shit. While there are other people who will leak information on their Discord servers to their viewers, just their YouTube viewers, so that way they can go and harass people online. That is an invasion of privacy, and that is not just, you're not helping anybody, you're helping yourself make content. That's all you're doing. Now, it kind of, again, it sounds hypocritical coming from a guy like me who just posted screenshots about two people who were talking and they were trying to dox each other. Now, I have never doxed anybody willingly or ever have done it for any reason. And I'm stating this clearly because I don't want anybody to think that I've done this and that I agree with this, because there's no form of doxing is any form of doxing, like in any form, is a good thing. But there are ethical uses for it, and then there's unethical uses for it. Unethically, you are hurting somebody's life that doesn't need their life to be hurt, that doesn't need to be chased after, that doesn't need to be swatted, because these people go to the lengths and extent to swat other people. That's actually horrible. You're hurting somebody's life because you could cause death. You're causing them death. If they die from a swatting, that's on your hands. And these people do not care. That is the one thing that people forget to realize and think about in this modern era of technology that we have. That something like this, as simple as doxing somebody's address, can actually hurt you in the long run if you really think about it. And it's really sad because you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting the person you're trying to hurt. Way more than you're hurting yourself. And that's just another controversy on the internet that seems to be normalized for some reason. Using people's information without their permission, either it be good or bad. Now, I can't give a personal opinion because I haven't done it before, even though like I would like to for the good stuff, for good reasoning. But I don't want it to make it into content purposes. And people who make it into content purposes have nothing else better to do but to hurt other people's lives. And it's kind of sad. Outside of that, we have defamation videos of people. There's good defamation videos and then just bad defamation videos, and you're probably thinking, how is there a difference between the two? Well, one could be to show and enlighten viewers and people about other people's actions. Again, tying it back in towards pedophilia and predators, people will defame people who actually are predators, but they don't let the public know this. They're hiding, and so people shine the light on these creatures who hide in the dark because they don't want to be seen, which I will show you momentarily. Not a video, but I will show a screenshot. This right here is a prime example. Like, this right here is a prime example of what I was talking about. How there are like videos that do justice and show and shine lights on the weirdos of the internet, like people who do horrible things on the internet. And this is what I mean. Like, so it goes from doxing people to now bringing to justice and bringing to light the creeps of the internet, because this is exactly what is needed. Now, I find myself at ease knowing that there's people out there who will do this not for the content, not for the fame, not for the clout, but they do this because they know that getting rid of these types of people is a good thing, that this is something that will help people in the future, and that it'll show the bad things that these types of people do. While there are other people who do this for content purposes and for, like, again, defamation in the wrong light. Like, they'll go out of their way to make content out of these people. If you ever seen like the YouTuber Proximity Chat or Ergblah or any of the VR chat YouTubers who like dox pedophiles and stuff, they will post these people online, they will bring them to light. Okay, maybe not shouldn't have said Ergblah, because he actually does a justice by getting rid of these people. Like, he reports them to the police. But other people like Proximity Chat and people who are associated with Proximity Chat tend to try to paint this narrative that what they're doing is a good thing, when in reality they're just trolling the fuck out of these guys. They're not sending the information to the cops. They're not doing anything. They're bringing their buddies in, and they're causing them mental harm, I guess you could say. Which is, I guess it's a good thing, but at the same time, it's not a very good thing, considering as how they're still walking free. Their accounts are still active. They're still on the internet. They're still going to be harassing little kids. Meanwhile, there's YouTubers like Ergblah who do VR chat videos who catch these people, get their names, get their address, submit these things to people like the cops, and continue about their day. And they make content out of it to let the masses know about the people that he was talking about, to let them know that this is a bad thing. Now, I myself would have loved to be doing this type of content work where I would, you know, go after these types of predators and stuff. But from my experiences with VR chat, I can't find these types of people, so it's really hard for me. But that being said, the defamation goes in both ways. One's more positive than the other, but defamation in any regards is not a good outlet. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, because it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, because you can get in trouble from the cops for taking like personal information and stuff and using it in defamation and stuff like that. That is a crime. But at the same time, if you previously let the cops know, like there's loopholes to this stuff. There's loopholes, and that's how people are getting away with it in good light and in bad light, and it's making like a lot of headway on stuff. Streaming, up next in terms of content, has become a big outlet in terms of a lot of people, but it's also a big controversy outlet too, because for some reason streamers also have hidden parts to them. I'm not going to go too deep into this because I will talk about streamers in a different video, but I wanted to say that it is a huge content avenue, but it is also a dark cesspool of corrupted imagery as well as defamation on all sides. It does not matter who you are with, you will and suffer the wrath and consequences of other people due to your own fame or the lack of fame, because you want to make your own fame from defaming people, or you already have the fame because you're trying, like, because you do things and you got people who are being creeps and trying to hurt you. They're like, again, I don't want to go too deep into this, but yeah, that's something that happens in this type of world. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the video off on this note. Regardless of the controversy that you set yourself into, regardless of the controversy that you've had been put into, there's always a different goal in mind for each person, either it be negative or it be positive. There is no in between. There is no gray area, because in this type of era, especially in year 2025, it is painted black and white. There really is no gray zone for the good or the bad, and it sucks, yeah, but at the end of the day, controversy is controversy, and the only way to bring things to light is to actually do your digging, your research, and actually know what you're talking about. But on a side note, it has been a good evening to speak to you guys, or early morning, depending on where you are at this time. My name is MX Mutex, and I will hopefully be seeing and talking to you guys again on the topic of streaming controversy. I hope you guys all have sweet dreams or good mornings with coffee. This is MX Mutex signing off.
Everybody plays with kids.